So here I am, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Sunday night. I'm coming to y'all live and direct today. It's been a long day. It's been hot. It's been humid. It's been all those things. A lot of people's patience have been tested on the roads, in their homes, with their loved ones. The heat just seems to bring out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so here I am. What's good to all of y'all? What's good, Warrensville? So glad to be with y'all today. I do appreciate, those of you who have tuned in along the way, who have, checked out What's Good Warrensville and hit a like button or subscribe on my YouTube channel. And all those things is much appreciated. I see we got a couple of people on the stream right now. Definitely appreciate you. So thank you for watching. Yeah, we got about 5 people. Hey, we'll take 5. We'll take 5, we'll take 6, whatever we can get. But today, folks, I got something real cool for y'all. Like I had an idea to start bringing you Where Are They Now? Because we got a lot of people from our little school system here in Warrensville Heights that have done monumental things. A lot of them has taken the path less traveled. It's pretty awesome. They bossing up, and they doing what it takes to make it in a very unconventional path. Choosing not to necessarily work for someone the rest of their lives, but to go out there and step out on faith and go all out and make a name for themselves on their own. So with that being said, I got a couple of people that I'm going to do this Where Are They Now segment on. If you've read in the description, then you've seen. But if you haven't, stay tuned. That's coming up next on What's Good Warrensville.
What's good, Warrensville?
Hello everyone, I'm Mayor Michael Booker from the village of Highland Hills. Make sure you tune in on Sunday nights at 9 to What's Good Warrensville so you can find out what's going on in our community of Warrensville Heights, North Randall, and Highland Hills, because Highland Hills is a big deal.
And we're back. And we're back for our first segment. So, as I promised, we're going to do a little Where Are They Now segment. And this one is going to be from one of my classmates, actually, class of 1981. Just see if you know who this person is. This young lady is, she's a dynamo in her own right. She was just our classmate. She was just another person, amongst us who, we grew up with, but she's grown up and she's come on strong like gangbusters. So without further ado, I want to introduce to some and to let others know that she is here and ready to go. I did a little piece on her, so I hope you like it, get an idea, know how this titan of industry is getting it done. Her name is Miss Renee Singleton.
Story to be told. At Singleton and Partners, we look beyond the numbers. We use our experience filter to develop programs that are relevant when working with our clients.
Flawed by design. We at Singleton and Partners, we recognize the differences and the similarity in people. An important element when developing a marketing or advertising program aimed at the niche market.
Fearless. Tension is a part of the process. understanding that tension is a part of the process when developing campaigns to reach a niche market. It is our job to educate the client on the latest and most effective advertising platforms.
Iconic in the present and in the future. Our work at Singleton & Partners is relevant, resilient, and reaches niche and diverse markets using the most up-to-date and innovative marketing tools. Acquiesce. We bow to greatness. We see the beauty in all people, and we celebrate their stories. We creatively reach everybody, everywhere, through diverse marketing solutions. Not your status quo. We aim for excellence every day, super serving our clients with awesome programs that are relevant and creative.
Honest. We live in the truth. Numbers never lie. We are organized, factual, and transparent. We deliver results for our clients.
I started my career with Lee Zappis. I worked at May Company. I was a special events coordinator. And Lee, I'll never forget the day that I was driving to work. I was at May Company. I worked in the special events department. And I heard that there was a new radio station opening, 93.1 WZAK. And I thought, oh, wow, wouldn't it be nice to have the winners of this hip-hop dance that they were doing be present at May Company for one of our events. So I reached out to Lee Zappis and said, hey, can we coordinate the winners of your hip-hop dance contest to feature them over at the May Company? And that's how my relationship started with Lee. When they went on the air and said, hey, the winner will be profiled at the May Company, oh my gosh, it was so many people. May Company had to close their doors. That just really showed the power of the radio station coming onto the scene, into the Black community, having another platform. I believe back then it was WDMT. Then the relationship with the Zappis Communication and myself started. So Lee recruited me from May Company to be their coordinator, their promotions coordinator, or promotions director at the time. Singleton & Partners is a multicultural marketing agency that started 18 years ago. And we are the agency for record for a number of different state departments. For example, we've been working closely with the Ohio Department of Health in putting together messages for the coronavirus pandemic. So all the spots and commercials you're hearing on radio or seeing on television, or that's like out in the marketplace, my agency has been responsible for coordinating that and getting messages out for Ohioans. I decided that I really needed a production space, and I knew that the trend was these collaborative workspaces. The catalyst for us moving and finding a building that is currently now S&P Work Lab was derived out of a need for the marketing agency. We needed to do production. I found the building and we branded and opened a building, 7,000 square feet over here on 21st and St. Clair, a production studio. And so what you have is a collaborative workspace. You have Singleton & Partners headquarters moved into a workspace, and then you have a production studio. And so that's how it evolved, how S&P evolved out of a need from Singleton & Partners as a marketing agency needing a production studio. So when I said, hey, I need a production studio, I knew that to support Singleton & Partners, I needed a production studio to create video and audio for broadcast media and that type of work. I worked with my creative consultant, Cherie Rivera, is an artist. In her mind, a production studio was for producing music and a number of different things from that platform. And when I looked at the building, I'm like, well, why can't we have a production studio that can just support content. And so that's where we started designing this space to really be a space for creators, makers that really support content creation. The structure of the work lab is up front. There are spaces where if you are a creator and say you want to do your back end work, administrative, or you need a place to meet with a customer, you can buy a day pass, come down and spend the day 8 hours working and have your meetings down here. So there's conference rooms, a workspace, and all of that. And say you decide after that's done, you want to go in the back and shoot them if you're a videographer, and so you can reserve space for the psych wall or whatever. So there are a number of different things that you can do at one time. You know, my vision was I would love to have an artist in here performing, and we are streaming his or her performance live to the social media platforms. And we achieved that with an artist called Humble G back on June 12th. It was really very exciting. He did a live concert, and so we were able to shoot it and stream it to his social media platform. I love what I do. I always say, if you do what you love every day, you never work a day. I love campaigns. I love putting projects together around media. I just love the network of folks that I've met over the last 30-some years that I work with. I'm really passionate about really being intricate in this landscape in Ohio in terms of a media professional. I work all the time, but I do have a balance with my personal life. So I love working, things people don't really know about me. I'm really down to earth. I was just telling my production manager, I want to go fishing. Most folks probably would be like, Renee, fish? No, I don't think so. But I do. I love down-to-earth kinds of things. I love spending time with my family and my friends. And whenever I can coordinate, work and play together, I do. Because, again, I love working. And I just enjoy, what my team has built down here. I haven't done it by myself.
That was Miss Renee Singleton, inductee into the Warrensville Heights Hall of Fame in 2009, along with a very prestigious group of alumni. I just want y'all to know, when I do these segments, I want y'all to be proud of the people that this little community turns out. You can say a lot of things about us, but we are a primarily African American community. Didn't start out that way, but it turned out that way. And when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, and that's what we did through our Mayor Sellers, starting out with Marshall Fudge, moving on to Clint Hall, and then eventually to Brad Sellers, who took the reins and had a vision for this city that we can all be proud of. Who is also a Hall of Fame member of our Warrensville Heights High School. So the next one is going to be a young brother, real cool brother, played sports, outstanding, standout. He played for the Browns, played for Ohio State, and of course he played for our beloved Warrensville Heights Tigers. His name is Mr. Darnell Sanders. He's got brother Larry, and he's got a brother Dantes. So they're a proud family, they're a sports family. But I think the thing that Darnell is most proud of, or at least that's the way it seems, is his new endeavors. His endeavors into entrepreneurship. He's hungrier for that than he was for playing football. And it's giving him an amount of satisfaction that I guess you just can't quantify. It's in the heart. So here's something that'll inspire some of y'all Tigers out there right after this message from our alumni president, Ms. Michelle Phelps.
Greetings, Warrensville Tigers. Do you know about the official Warrensville Heights High School Alumni Association? Are you included in our database? If not, we invite you to slide on over to our link and add your information. The database is a great way to be connected with your fellow alumni, to learn about events and activities for alumni, and to be engaged with school districts. Be sure to share the link with your classmates too. There may be a few bragging rights competitions in the near future, so be sure to be a part of the fun by adding your information to the database. Warrensville alumni, that's what's good, Warrensville.
Hey everyone, this is Seth. We're back again with another podcast episode. I'm here with Paul, as always, and our incredibly special guest, Darnell Sanders. Darnell, I wanted to have you on because you have a story, and I think our listeners would like to hear it. So let's just start with. Well, anyway, thanks for being here. Of course, I love you.
Thanks for having me. I love both of you guys.
You didn't even know him.
Well, see,
We do know each other.
We became Facebook friends about a week ago.
Listen, I was very honored because he friended me.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. And he's got a lot of followers.
You see, so yes, I'm very So I love you, Darnell. Tell us a little bit about sort of abbreviated version of your story because I'm interested to hear it too. So,
All right. Well, been an athlete my whole life. Grew up playing all sports. Ended up getting drafted out of high school for baseball.
baseball.
The baseball, the Cleveland Indians. I'm a Cleveland guy.
Okay.
My had scholarships to a lot of places. Ended up going to Ohio State, right?
For what, though?
For football.
For football.
Wow. Okay, I didn't
Ended up
know
going for football.
Wow,
Yes.
okay.
So ended up playing football. My father asked me to go. Nobody in my family ever went to college, so kind of was like, hey, listen, just do this. And my contract to the Indians sucked anyway, so he was like, let's just go to college and see what happens. So I went to college, played football for a little while, got drafted in the fourth round to Cleveland, the Cleveland Browns, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So my family got to watch it all. From there, I probably cut my own career short, all my fault. Instead of focusing on football, I was reading real estate books, Robert Kiyosaki, on how to invest as opposed to reading my playbook.
Okay.
So I had a short career in the NFL. I was with the Browns 01 through 04, and then I played with the Falcons after that. And I officially, after being cut by multiple teams, retired in 2007.
And so Paul talks about that last time you got cut. Explain what happened sort of that day, because not that I want to drum up negativity, but I'd love to know where you went from there. So.
Oh, it's not negative at all. What happened was literally having a good camp. I thought everything was going good. Actually, when the first preseason game started, I was playing for a coach that was very, very smart as far as football plays. So he had a big playbook. Right before the game, he said, Darnell, you're going to start. I said, cool. I knew all the tight end stuff, but it was my first year there. The very first play we ran was he had me at the U, which is basically like a fullback. So I screwed that play all up.
Sure.
And then ever since that play on, it was just an average game, and ever since then it wasn't the best, and I ended up getting cut.
What options did you have when you got cut? I mean, Paul's told me some stories about the way you were feeling.
Yeah.
What options did you have, and what was life like at that point in time?
You know, it was crazy because I really didn't know. So at that time, I already had a little bit of real estate. So I said, hey, I had a couple properties. I decided I got to figure something out. So as I was figuring stuff out, my money was running away fast. I mean, literally had legs. It was sprinting away from me. So what happened was the market at this time was starting to become very bad. So I sold everything I had, the shirt off my back, to buy real estate. Yeah. So I just, it was kind of a desperate thing. I was buying homes for $3,000, $5,000. I ended up buying an apartment building for $143,000, a 24-unit apartment building. Wow. So we start going from there, and then that's when I met him.
So Paul, tell me how you guys got hooked up and how you guys first became friends.
So we have a mutual friend, and he called me up one day. I just finished my house, and I was actually in the house with some friends cleaning up my new house. I get a phone call, and the guy says, hey, Paul, I got somebody I want you to meet about real estate. He's trying to get involved, et cetera. And he's an ex-Browns player. And I immediately said, nope, don't want to meet him. And the reason being, I've done some business with some athletes, and they tend to be a little high maintenance. So he said, no, this guy's different. I'm like, nope, I don't want to meet him. I insisted, I don't want to meet him, don't want to meet him. Phone call ends. 3 days later, get a phone call from the same guy. All right, Paul, your meeting's set up with a Panera Bread and blah, blah. I'm like, I told you I didn't want to meet him. Paul, just meet him. That's all you do, just meet the guy. He's really nice, all that stuff. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy. Okay, so we met. That's how we met, and we were pretty much, for like a week or two, we started doing some things together, started talking, and then we hit it off and became like best friends very quickly, within a month. I mean, we were like great friends.
What have you guys done together since then?
We've had real estate together. We helped start his landscaping business, his tree cutting business, Nature's Finest Landscaping. We've done a salon together, which has been phenomenally successful. His wife works there. Those have been pretty much the same things. He rents space from me in the building, and we go on vacations together still. We're going in January to Mexico. I mean, we're very close about stuff.
And Darnell, tell me, like, you said you started in some real estate, which for me is always impressive because I have none yet, but I've done one flip and I'm looking to do more. So how has your real estate mindset changed after hooking up with Paul? I mean, before and after. Can you describe it?
So it's been real estate for me been a roller coaster. It's awesome. Learning from somebody like Paul, like of course, like when we first met, he asked me to see my books on my real estate properties that I had. And I think he was very polite when he saw it and basically like, here, we have to do it this way. So I just ran real estate because that's what I thought that's what we're supposed to do to become wealthy, which I still believe that, right? Yeah. And so working with him in real estate, he started teaching me a lot about it. Now, if anybody knows Paul, he moves fast. Yeah. So sometimes, and the way he moves fast with numbers is almost like, okay, only you can do it that fast. Give me a second, you know?
That's right.
And things like that. So I started off with just single family and 2-family homes in like the ghetto. And then I know at the time, I think he had a bunch of apartment buildings and I wanted to get in apartment buildings. Yeah. And then, this is a funny story. I was like, okay, let's do some deals together. I think I brought him like 3 deals and he looked at me and said, you're wasting my time. Basically like, for it to be worth something, give me more. Like, let's do more. And we ended up doing that apartment building. We ended up doing a couple houses, and then we started something for a little time. It's called ADP Properties. And at that time, we did quite a bit of properties.
34. We did 34 houses.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
In like a year and a half.
Yeah, it was fast. Like, he was literally the rehab guy, and Andrew would find the properties. I would approve. He'd go rehab. We did 35 units in a year and a half. Yeah. It might have been faster than that.
Yeah, I think it's like a year. I didn't want to exaggerate.
I think it was a year.
Yeah, I think it's like a year. Yeah, I didn't want to exaggerate. Yeah.
So what is your current real estate portfolio look like?
Right now I personally have the apartment building that we bought to sell.
How many units?
It's 24-unit apartment building. And then I have a 2-family in Cleveland Heights. And I have a single family right now in the west side of Cleveland.
So 27 units right now. But
wow.
He's actually, his focus has become Nature's Finest Landscaping. Yes. It's a great business with great margins. And I'm actually the one that told him, Darnell, you need to sell your real estate. You need to concentrate 100%, put all your capital, all your time towards your business because you're going to make more money. And then down the road, 2-3 years from now, get you back into real estate.
Now describe the process of what Nature's Finest Landscaping has gone through from sort of inception to now.
Yes.
That's a good question.
That's a great question. So when I first started, I started with my brother-in-law, one of my best friends. We just cutting grass. He did a lot of the leg work, him and another gym teacher. And we just cut grass. From there, maybe about 5 years ago, I was like, I want to start making some real money.
Yeah.
So we started getting into the construction. I started doing the construction a little bit with myself.
Landscape construction.
Landscape construction as in like patios and things like that. We started doing that. The next year I came to him, I said, and I think I did one tree job at the time. And when I did that tree job, I came to Paul. I always come to Paul when I have these great ideas.
Me too.
So I said, Paul, listen, we got to do this. Of course, my numbers is all over the place. And I'm like, we can do this. I got him excited. So he was like, let's do it. And we ended up doing it. So we started building. We started building. My first year that we were together, I think we did 143,000. The next year we did 575, and then the following year we did $1,050,000 in landscape and construction. So and then it's this year now. So
it's funny. The first year he did landscape construction, he would take jobs, and then the next year, he wouldn't even take the biggest job he got the previous year because it wasn't worth his time. He'd be like, let's say, for example, $30,000 job was his biggest job. The next year, he's not taking a $20,000 job. He'd be like, no, it's got to be $50,000 for me to look at it because he got really good at it. I mean, his stuff is, and I'm not just saying that, his stuff is legit beautiful. And
you say this all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you go on his Facebook page, he posts these things, I'm like, this is incredible. But then he also started to sit there and say, because of how much time it takes, he wants to be choosy or pickier about the jobs he does. And the jobs that he would have been excited about before, in terms of price-wise, he's like, listen, it's not worth the time anymore. I can't take my crews off of a job to go do a $10,000 job when I got a $50,000 one waiting. And yeah, it was incredible. And that was year to year. That wasn't even, we're not talking about 5 years later, we're talking about 1 year, stop, next year, boom. It was incredible.
Amazing.
It's just funny how businesses change year to year.
Oh yeah.
Like completely changes. Yeah.
So, with all this said, in the end, what has meeting Paul and working with him, what has it done for you? What have you learned, and what has it done for you in your life?
Darnell.
I'm always a positive person, so I always think that things are going to grow and get big and be the biggest things in the world, right? What meeting Paul did for me was realize that there are certain steps to doing that. You just can't say we're going to do it and just go out and do it and things will happen. So the biggest thing, I'm a fast mover, but I don't always pay attention to like the little details. And that's a very weakness of mine.
Sure.
So I have to hire somebody to take care of all of that stuff, and I have to continuously do it because I'm kind of a fast goer, but I need somebody to clean up my stuff as I go. Mm-hmm. So with meeting him, it helped me realize like the important things I need to do. I need to focus on certain numbers. I need to focus on advertising and selling. For me, is the biggest thing. That's where I need to spend my time. So he taught me how to do that. He basically a lot of things with just understanding business and the numbers, because the other stuff I'm going to get. It's just, and it's still hard for me. It's a lot of times when we have our meetings and everything, he brings up certain numbers. I'm like, how did you do that? And it takes me 5 days to get it. I'm like, okay, now I see where you got it. So.
I love you, Tim.
Tim's gonna get banned soon.
Every time.
Every time.
We got a sound effects guy now. Well, that was a great way to answer it. Paul, so tell me, what has Darnell done for your life?
Oh, that's a great question. First off, he's a ton of fun. I mean, business-wise, we had a lot of great experiences. We did a lot of great things. Fixed Salon has been phenomenal. I mean, he's just a great guy. Like, it's so funny. Like, you talk. Remember, we used to like. Look at us. We're very different, right? Yeah. He's 6'6". I'm 5'9" when I'm lying to women. Yeah, exactly.
5 foot.
I mean, we didn't grow up in the same kind of environment. He grew up in a totally different school system. I mean, you hear him and Rahman, by the way, his high school best friends, now partners with us, as you know. We talk about like the way we experience high school and stuff like that. I mean, but we have such a good connection in terms of things. I mean, I don't know. It's funny because, I mean, we've cried around each other before, you know what I mean? Like, it's like intense. Like, we sit there and talk about things. We vacate. I mean, it's just awesome. Like, he's a great guy. He's a really, I mean, I'm not trying to be cheesy and things like that, but at the same token, it's like, he's also taught a lot about patience. We're both very.
We're different, but we very much are alike.
Oh, we're very much alike. Like, I tell him, I can afford to lack detail orientation. Yeah. He can't in his business yet. I lack detail orientation very much. Like, to me, we're the same. The thing I love about him is, hey, I want to go do this. Let's go do it. Like, he's not the guy who's going to be like, let me go think about this. I mean, he doesn't worry. He just sits there and goes, it's almost to the extreme of like, Darnell, in order to get to 10 million in revenue, we got to do these steps first. Like, I get it. We're going to get to 10 million, but once we have that revenue goal, let's figure out steps B to Y. You know what I mean? It's like, we got to figure those things out. And I don't know. It's great to see it because I joke with people sometimes. Like, I just said it to Chris today. I was like, this is the Darnell and me coming out. Like, the whole like, I don't care what you say, we are doing this, like this is gonna happen, as opposed to, okay. Because sometimes some people in the organization, it's more hand-holding. Darnell was great because it was just like, yep, let's go do it. Let's go do it.
That's an admirable approach to things. I need to learn more of that.
Yeah, you do, but I still love you.
Okay.
But there's positives, and there's positives to everything. Like, Darnell is more like, I gotta be like, Darnell, I love that you wanna make $10 million. But let's go make $1 million first. Mm-hmm. Let's get that $1 million to be very profitable. And let's go. Like, for example, he's changing his business a little bit now where I'm telling him, go make less revenue, you'll make more money.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And that's a hard thing for people who are not Darnell to do. It's like, people want to brag about the revenue they do. Darnell's looking at it going, holy crap, you're right. If I make 30% less revenue, but if I concentrate on these areas, I will make a lot more money than I did. And that's the great thing about Darnell too. Like, his ego is about, I just want to make the paper, make the money. It doesn't matter to me, but he knows. I mean, that's the great thing about Darnell, and he's a very possibilities guy. Like, I remember him showing me the revenue list of the top 20 landscaping companies in the country. That he's like, yeah, I got to be on this list.
Yeah.
That's the way he thinks. And you know me, that's the way I think. And some people think, how would that even be possible?
Yeah.
He doesn't even think how it would be possible. He's like, how would it not be possible? Now, Darnell does need the help of, like, I have the help of having people around me. If I don't want to do something, look at this. This is because of you. Do you think I would have ever done this?
It's nice.
It's beautiful and it's wonderful. And to me, I could have paid for it. But at the same token, I look at it and go, I want this guy on board with me.
Yeah.
Same with Darnell. Like the same thing. It's like, I need somebody who's going to go out there and hustle and get that stuff done. And Chris, and by the way, Darnell's a phenomenal salesperson.
That's my strength.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal salesperson. He just needs somebody tagged along with him at all times, taking notes of everything he says. That way he can go follow up when he says something like,
Yes.
I'll give you a call tomorrow. But they get a call tomorrow.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, listen, this was awesome to hear. I just wanted to share with everyone, what Paul can do for people and what people can do for themselves. So it's a great success story, Darnell, and I love our journey together here moving forward. I'm glad we finally met. So there's going to be more content like this, guys, in the future. We'll have more stories, more of Paul's many businesses, and we're going to try and teach as much as we can. So thanks, Darnell. You're the man, bro.